Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is Mehdi. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at 15 backbone fragrances in any man's collection. Must-have fragrances. So without any further ado, I want to start by House of Versace Eros EDT. It is a fruity, woody and sweet type of fragrance. Main notes here are vanilla. It is powdery slightly, ambroxany at the base. Ambroxany gives you a woody feel, and mint and apple are main pillars at the top and mid notes. Some of the newer batches of EDT are not that great in terms of performance due to reformulation, I have to say. So you can go by EDP version if you are not satisfied of performance of newer batches. EDP lasts on me 8 hours plus in terms of longevity, and projection and CRGs average for first 2 hours. Number 14, Wood from House of Tom Ford. A solid backbone for your collection. It is bossy, mature, definitely has that age factor to it, and very dressed up and serious smelling type of fragrance. I can say it is slightly green, like soapy. I can get some sort of traditional bar of soapy vibe from the fragrance, and it is soft, spicy with bitter woodiness at the background of the fragrance, or at the base of the fragrance, let's say. To this one lasts only 6 hours plus in terms of longevity, and projection and CRG soft for first hour and a half. I prefer it for dressed up and indoor situations. Number 13, Le Male Le Parfum by Jean Paul Gaultier. A powdery, sweet, thick and herbal type of fragrance that has a very modern and memorable signature scent worthy type of scent profile. It is a long-lasting fragrance. I can get like 12 hours plus longevity on the skin, and projection and CRG is good for first 2 hours. Smells a little bit dressed up for night times, but has also that casual vibe to it. Pretty versatile, but I prefer it for colder seasons and night times. Number 12, Red Tobacco from House of Montserrat. At first I have to say it is not a blind buy worthy fragrance, but why it is a backbone? Because I believe it is one of the best dark fragrances out there. Not for everybody, but definitely gets compliments and also bad comments, but I can say it is like 90% in that compliment getting side. At the opening it is very messy and off-putting, let's say, to this one, slightly animalic with touch of fresh fruitiness at the top, but at the dry down it is all about burnt wood, smokiness and roasted vanilla. It gets sweeter at the dry down, lasts on me forever, and projection and CRG is very loud for 3-4 hours. Number 11, again by House of Versace Dylan Blue. So this fragrance is not a wow or groundbreaking something, but for whatever reason gets better compliments compared to those way better smelling fragrances. Has something magic to it. For example, I can like Egoist Platinum by Chanel way better compared to this one, but this one gets better compliments. So it is like shower jelly, slightly smoky at the dry down, incensey, and has some sort of ambroxany saltiness to it. It is heavy on ambroxany. Also, I can get some sort of classic green vibe because of Artemisia note. Lasts on me 10-12 hours plus. Newer batches like 8 hours plus, and projection and CRG is solid for first 2-3 hours. It is a no-brainer fragrance, any occasion, any season. Number 10, Prada Lom. Such a sexy, polite, inoffensive and modern fragrance. For me this one stands out as it is a different freshy. For example, most of fresh fragrances are green, aquatic, citrusy, woody. This fragrance is nothing like other fragrances. Has its own character and DNA, let's say. So it is like bright, powdery, fresh, sweet, and a little bit I get some sort of transparent black teaish vibe. Very little at the background of the fragrance. I can get 10 hours plus longevity with this one. I would prefer it a bit less powdery, but it is fair enough. And projection and CRG is noticeable and let's say loud, but in a soft and cloudy way. Has a very soft but noticeable projection and CRG. CRG is even way better compared to the projection of this fragrance. Number 9, Dior Sauvage Elixir, one of the longest lasting and strongest designer fragrances in my collection that can easily compete with like heavy niche stuff in terms of scent profile and performance. So it is one of the most complimented dark fragrances in my collection. It is herbal and sweet with a bitter atmosphere, or dark atmosphere, let's say, to this one. Main players are here licorice at the very first sniff, and lavender. Patchouli is at the background, and you can get some sort of cinnamony and cardamom spiciness. It has a very complex scent profile. Lasts on me like 12-14 hours plus in terms of longevity easily, and projection and CRGs I can say loud for first 3 hours. Number 8, Blue de Chanel EDP. What can I say about this fragrance? It is like quality, wealth, success in a bottle. You're gonna smell very high quality with this one. It is a complex and mature manly type of fragrance. It is fresh, it is fruity. Grapefruit I can get immediately. Has a little bit, very little melonish vibe at the background of the fragrance, not too much in that genre, and very little floral notes coming through. Has a bit body lotiony vibe to it, and at the dry down gets darker because of incense note at the base. I can get 7 hours plus longevity with this one on the skin, and projection and sillage average for first 2 hours. A solid fragrance for office and indoor situations. Number 7, again by Chanel, Allure Sport Eau Extreme. It is a powdery and fresh citrusy fragrance. At the base it is thick and sweet because of tonka. At the opening it is fresh and fruity because of citrusy and minty notes. A little bit has some sort of aquatic feel to it, but if you want more aquatic you can go by regular version of this fragrance, Allure Sport, but this one is less aquatic compared to other versions. Lasts on me 7 hours plus, gets crazy compliments especially from women, and projection and sillage is average for first 2 hours. Has a better sillage again compared to the projection. Number 6, Angel's Share from House of by Kilian. One of the sexiest niche fragrances out there. Has enough weight to it, has enough daring and niche scent profile, and has enough, like, let's say, complimenting factor and appealing factor like designer fragrances. So it is like boozy, dried fruity, and sweet. Sweetness is here like crystallized sugariness, let's say, to this one. And at the background it is a little bit warm, spicy. It is a very sexy and at the same time dressed up type of fragrance. It's something special about this one. For example, it is serious but not blocking or aggressive. It is serious and inviting type of fragrance. I would prefer it for special occasions, especially for date times. It is a great fragrance, and I would prefer it for like spring and fall. Not enough strong for, let's say, winter, and not enough fresh for summer. Now we are at top 5, going fast. Again by Dior Sauvage EDT. Just ignore who say you're gonna smell like her eggs. It is overplayed, pretty well known, maybe in the fragrance community or in the people that are into fragrances, but most of people out there are not that often wearing fragrances, in my opinion. So fragrance cannot be that much overplayed or let's say outdated. I don't know, it is only my opinion. So Dior Sauvage EDT is a masculine, modern, sexy, aggressive, and at the same time appealing type of fragrance. It is all about citruses, black pepper, lavender, and ambroxan. Lasts on me 10-12 hours plus, and projection and sillage is good for first 2-3 hours. Number 4, Perfumes de Mali, Latent, one of the best fragrances I've ever smelled in entire my life. I have to say, I like that challenging character of this fragrance. It is like daring and appealing at the same time. It is not a love, for example, at the first sniff, at least was not for me. At the very first sniff was like, what the hell, it is Vixie. It is like minty. I wouldn't expect something like that, but at the dry down, at the like second and third wear, it is like woody, oriental, spicy, and fruity. You're gonna get apple, cardamom, and that minty vibe or Vixie vibe gives to fragrance a very soft, smoky feel. Lasts on me 10-12 hours plus, and projection and sillage is good for first 2-3 hours. Number 3, Aqua di Gio Profumo by Giorgio Armani. In my opinion, it is at top 10 best fragrances ever created in the history of the perfumery, I have to say. It is aquatic, it is complex, not generic type of aquatic, not flat type of fragrance. It is very complex. It is like herbal, slightly aquatic, it is sweet, and incensey at the dry down. Let's say to this one, a dark water. Smells extremely appealing, gets solid compliments, and it is a long-lasting fragrance. One of the longest lasting fresh fragrances in my collection, 10-12 hours plus easily, and projection and sillage is good for first 2-3 hours. I prefer it for spring and summer, but not that great for extremely hot summer days, let's say. Number 2, Reflection Man from House of Amouage. One of the best floral fragrances out there. I really love this fragrance and got me a ton of solid compliments. This floral, powdery, very little green, has a bit of a spicy feel to it, and character of the fragrance is very oriental. It is very outstanding and different type of fragrance. I get 10-12 hours plus longevity with this one. Projection and sillage is average. has a better CH. CH is like above average for first 3 hours, and projection is average to good, let's say. Number 1, for sure, create Adventage. I know there is ton of great colognes around this DNA that lasts way longer compared to this one. I can get like 7 hours with this one. It is 2017 batch, and newer batches are like 5-6 hours in terms of longevity. For example, with Arm of Club, the new Intense Man limited edition, you can get solid 12 hours plus longevity with 3 hours of loud projection and CH. But this is a must-have, I believe. If you cannot afford it, at least I suggest you have like 5 ml something decant of this fragrance to feel that success, that quality on your skin. Take care, guys.